All right, guys. It's your boy Larry Wills. We back with another live episode of NBL Business.com. All right, so as you can all know, our goal is to help small business owners and their employees and their staff members turn business credit into passive income that they don't have to pay back. All right, so I'm out here. I'm taking my nature walk. So if you guys hear cars or trucks coming past, I'm just taking my nature walk. This is a working truck. Actually driving past me, but you shouldn't hear too much of that. Anyhow, all right, so I'm thinking about building a company, and I'm thinking about putting all the pieces in place. I'm thinking about all of these things that we've already done so far. It's a private jet, and doing all of these things, you know, I wanted to speak on that for anyone who's at the brink of a breakthrough. You have a great product, you know that the product is going to sell to the marketplace, but you are having a really tough time getting the product from production into profit. Okay, so let me explain to you a lot of the challenges that I was facing before I started to get production into profit. All right, so one of the things that you're going to run into is that, first off, you need a team. Okay, and the way that we structured my company is that I just started. Let me tell you what I have in place. I'm gonna tell you how I started so you can build it. Right, and it's not going to be a long podcast. All our podcast is 15 minutes, but check it out. I have myself, which is I'm the chairman. I used to be a CEO. Well, I graduated from an entrepreneur. You know, when I first started, to realizing that I'm not, that entrepreneur is just is a position in the company, right? And so I turned from entrepreneur, I turned into a marketer, right? And so I wanted to learn marketing and sales and thought that was the way to financial freedom and wealth. Okay, and then from there, I learned that I need to be a professional, okay, which means that I need to understand how to operate internal business, okay? And so from there, I went to a CEO because I understand the inner workings of a business and how to grow it now. You know, I labeled myself as a CEO, and then from there, I became a founder because I created a company that we about to take to the market. And now I have a team, so I'm a chairman, and I have a group and things of that nature. Okay, so that was my position. That was my hierarchy of what I went through in order to become a chairman that I am today. Now, and doing that, beneath me, I have my executives. Those are my board members. These are my advisors, pretty much. Well, these are the people that I advise in business, and we pretty much are building this together, and we're helping each other. Okay. Second group of people I have are my captains. My captains, when I give the information to my executives, we take the information down to the captains so that they can also understand what we're doing. Right. And now these people, right. Okay. And then from the captains, we go into the partners. I have 20 partners, 10 captains, 5 executives, then myself a chairman. Okay. 20 partners. We take it to the partners and they start to implement it to make sure that it actually processes. It works. Things and this can be anything from marketing a campaign to buying a product to everything. They do it all as brand new because they are not aware of what we're talking about up top. Okay. And then when we give it to them, they test it good. They test out if they go and buy it, because these are a group of diversified business owners, okay? And so from the partners, we give it to our paid members who implement the strategies. And then from there, we got all these results internally, and we take those results, case studies, we take everything that we do, we take it out into the marketplace. Am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way. We take it out into the marketplace. I was going the wrong way. Wow, this is a big city. We take it out into the marketplace. And when we take it out into the marketplace, it gets the result because it went through all of those stages of progression. Okay. Now, how did I put all of those team members in place? And how do I get all of those team members to be in place and pay me versus me paying them to do the work? Right? You start with the golden rule. The golden rule is simple. If you give enough people all they want, then you'll automatically get everything you want, right? That's a Zig Ziglar rule. And so that's what I did. I started helping business owners. So as I was transitioning through all of these positions, I'm going to say, right? What started to happen is that I realized that I no longer need the last bit of information. So if I no longer need it, 80% of the people will sell it. I give it away. and I give it away not in a way to where you click links and you learn yourself. I give it away in a coaching system, like a coaching fashion, which means I'm going to work with you. You're going to get in my groups. You're going to get in my teams, and I'm going to give this to you for free. I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to show you how to do it, right? If you have to pay for anything, it's because we got to use that tool, or this tool has to stay in working. Like, we're paying for the tool. It has to stay up and running because we got to use the tool. And so instead of me testing and all this good stuff, we test as a team. We pay as a team. We do all these things as a team because we know that if what we're building is successful, we put it out into the marketplace, everybody makes money. Okay, and so that's one of the things that I did building through each position. Yes, it took a long time, but yes, I made a lot of money through the time. All right, and so when you're thinking about building your companies and doing all of those things, and you do it that way, and you get to the top, whereas you're about to break through, you're going to run into another problem. Okay, and this is the problem that I was facing, and I just figured it out. Like, I just figured out how to solve it, and so I'm gonna go try to solve this problem. And then I'm going to come back to you guys and I'm going to tell you guys how I solved it, right? All right, so what's the problem? Okay, so what's the problem? The problem is simple. When you build like that, you become the smartest person in your company. Okay, and when your company starts to grow and reach a pinnacle where you got to do the work internally and still bring in clients externally, right? When you build like that, now you become overwhelmed. You can go back to the beginning now, because the people in their demand for your product is really, really high, right? The world that you're servicing, the demand for your product is really, really high. Okay, and so you got to do both. But if you're trying to do both all by yourself, that's where the problem comes into play. That's where 90% of people fail in business, because they trying to do it all themselves, and they trying to be the smart, or they're not even trying to do it themselves, but they're doing it all themselves, and they're the smartest person in their company. They're the smartest person in their organizations. And if you are the smartest person in your organization, you don't have a person that you can say, hey, I need this done. And I'm going to give you a really good example. Hey, we just finished the production of this product. It's in pre-test mode, and we need to put 300 people in front of it so we can have a solid test. If you pass that information to your CMO, your chief marketing officer, then they'll be able to make sure those 300 people come into the company and have a solid test. Your CMO, he has to build your marketing division, right? Now, you're supposed to be the CMO. Remember I said I became a marketer? So I had to learn how to be a chief marketing officer in order to hire a credible CMO when I get to this point. You see what I'm saying? I had to become an entrepreneur to understand how to grow a large vision, idea that's going to be massively successful before I got to this point. Okay, so you're going to go through the stages that you need to become, and then if you understand the stages properly, then you're going to be able to put them in place for yourself. If you don't understand the stages, if you don't know the stages, right? Forget understanding. If you don't know the stages, you can't put it in place. That's like if I say, what's 1 plus, and don't give you the other number. You need the other number in order to make an addition, to make a subtraction. You need to know if there's another number there, right? And if there is no number, then there can be no equation. Make sense? So if you do not know, there can be no equation. The only way to become successful is to stop being stubborn and believing that you have to learn this stuff, because if that was the case, there wouldn't be so many positions in the world. Inside every company that you work for, you've never seen the CEO of the company that you work for be the founder, right? Or the owner. They hire a CEO. That's what it is. Now, he may have once been a CEO, but when he grow that company, he has to hire a CEO. That's a chief executive officer. That's the person that knows how to put all the components of your company together for you. Okay, and if you don't know those things, then you're moving in a blind direction, and that's a recipe for disaster. Okay, and so one of my biggest reasons for creating this podcast is because everybody started at the same spot. We were a beginner. That's what we were. We were trying to figure it out. And our situations caused us to become entrepreneurs. When we became an entrepreneur, we all started at the same spot, not knowing. And so as the more you know, the more you grow. The more you don't know, the more you stay stuck. So I created this podcast to help every single entrepreneur on planet Earth get unstuck. So if you're anywhere from beginner all the way through founder, I just became my chairman, guys. So my chairmans follow this because I'm creating a $47 billion brand. Okay. And this is for chairmans. Everyone else, follow this because you're going to see exactly how to build your company from scratch without any hiccups. And I mean, when I talk about that, I'm talking about my power triangle business model, right? Because on the right hand side, you got the power. On the left hand side, you got power, right? That's your left hand side. Remember the saying, you never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I believe they created that saying for commerce, for people in business, because if your left hand side is building business credit and you got capital, you got funding, you got millions of dollars in expendable cash that you don't even have to touch, but you have it just in case, so that you're not starting broke, you're not starting frustrated, overwhelmed, confused. And if you need to figure something out, you can hire the expert to teach it to you. You can hire the expert to just tell it to you. Okay? You're not learning it. Like, there's no curriculum. It's, well, how do I create a capture page? Well, you need some components on a capture page. That's how you do it. This is the traffic you put to the capture page so that you can understand how to fill it up once you get it. You see, and I don't stop at I give the whole strategy. There's no point of having a capture page if the person don't know how to get traffic. You know he don't know how to get traffic when you created that training. Show him how to get the traffic to the page so he can make some money and then want to pay you more. Okay? Or make some money and then want to open up his own operation. Right? Abundance is forever. It's forever. And if we practice that, then your blessings flow like a river. Like a river. Okay? Right? And so, in hindsight, when you think about everything that I just stated, and you think about how did I do all of this complicated stuff, this is my big secret. And listen to it carefully, because if you want to grow a company, you want to grow money beyond your wildest dreams, you don't have to go out there searching for the opportunity. It's already in you. And there's enough people on earth that believes in you. I'm lost again, y'all. Give me a second. I think I go down that road. No, I go down that road. Okay. And so there's enough people that believes in you that actually want to follow you. Okay. And so the way that I started this whole journey, I didn't know I was doing it at first, but I started this whole journey solving my own problem. Okay, and I talked about it like that. I didn't act as if I was solving somebody else's problem. I actually talked about it. You can hear look at my trainers now. I talk about it like I'm solving my own issue. Just like I'm on this podcast telling you that I'm at this stage and I'm going to this stage, and this is why these things are happening. You don't want to run into this. If I wait to tell you those things, I'm gonna miss something. I'm gonna skip something out, and you're gonna be stuck again, because people who become successful don't start talking about their successes because they're embarrassed. They don't want people to understand the struggles that they have, and I don't understand that everybody struggle before they succeed. You understand? And the more you talk about it, the more clear it becomes in your mind. Okay? And so, guys, that's one thing. Talk about your business and let people follow your journey. Go through each step. Entrepreneur, marketer, salesman, marketer. You got to run in sales. Sales is the most important factor in all this. Okay? And when you go through all the steps, help people before you help yourself, you're going to gain everything you need. People going to want to build your dream with you versus fighting against you. Okay? So it's your boy, Larry Wills. Look me up at LarryWillsInfo@gmail.com. That's LarryWillsInfo@gmail.com. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.